Hi, welcome to Elementary and Intermediate Algebra Chapter 3.2. In this video, I'll be going over finding equations for linear models and making predictions, and graphing horizontal and vertical lines, and using correct units. So let's say a kid has a $20 allowance per month, and each month his allowance increases by $1. Let D represent his allowance after n months. Write an equation that describes his total allowance. So we know that his allowance is called D, because we created a variable for it. We know that his allowance depends on the number of months after, depends on the number of months. We know that initially he has a $20 allowance, and we know that his allowance increases by $1 every month. So his total allowance is equal to his initial allowance plus the amount of allowance that increased. And we know the amount of allowance increase is equal to $1 per month times the number of months. So that's our equation. It's pretty simple. D is equal to 20 plus 1 times n. So now let's substitute 24 for n. So now we now get D is equal to 20 plus 1 times 24. So now D is equal to 44. Okay. So what does it mean? So we know that D is equal to the number of allowance. So this means that his allowance is now 44. And we know that the units are in dollars. So we know that his allowance is now $44. And we know, and so 24, we substituted 24 for n. We know that n is the number of months. So which means that, what this means is after 2 years, this kid's allowance increases from $20 a month to $44 a month. It's pretty simple. So what is unit analysis? Unit analysis makes sure that the units are correct for both sides. If the units are not the same, either the equation is incorrect, or you have to convert from one unit to another, such as from cents to dollars, feet to miles, etc. Using the previous equation, D is equal to 1 times n plus 20. Let's perform unit analysis. So D is expressed in dollars. 1 is expressed in dollars per month because that's how much his allowance increases by, and it's multiplied by n, which is the number of months which is number of months. So the months, when dollars over month is multiplied by months, the months will cancel out, leaving just dollars. And the 20 or the initial allowance is also in dollars. So the units work out. The left side is in dollars, and the right side is also in dollars. So now this question asks, what's his allowance after 3 years? So let's write our equation again. D is equal to 20 plus 1 times n. But there's a problem here. N is in months, and right now the question says 3 years. So this is where we have to convert units. So 3 years is also equal to 3 times 12 months. This is equal to 3 years times 12 months per year, because there are 3 years and there are 12 months in a year. So what this will give us is the total number of, the years will cancel out, and what this will give us is the total amount of months that 3 years is equivalent to, and this equals 36 months. So now we can put 36 months into here, and now the units will correctly work out. We get that dollars, this is in dollars, 20 plus 1 times 36, that's 20 plus 36. Both of these are in dollars, so we know that D is now equal to $56. Making predictions. One way to make predictions is to graph the equation and look for the desired number. So let's graph the equation in the previous slides. D is equal to 1 times n plus 20. And so I put a line that's equal to this equation, and I put a lot of sample points on it. So if we want to predict his allowance after a year, we can just look and see on the graph what his allowance is after 12 months. So right now this line is only for 10 months, but if we continue, but let's just continue this line. The line continues. We would find that at 12 months his allowance is right here, And just scale is not exactly the best, but if we were to continue the line, we would find that its allowance is $32. So making prediction using an equation. Graphs can be extremely clumsy and a lot of work. The vast majority of the time, it's simpler and easier to solve the problem using the given equation. We can predict its allowance after year simply by plugging it into the equation, just like we would if we were plotting a graph. Instead of plugging in multiple points, we just have to plug in the point we want. So d is equal to 1 times n plus 20. We can just plug in 12 for n. So 1 times 12 plus 20. We get 32. So after 12 months, his allowance is $32. So there are other types of linear graphs. Sometimes the graph can be perfectly horizontal. In a horizontal graph, no matter what the value of x, the y value will always stay the same. The equation for a horizontal line is y equals b, where b is equal to any number. Notice how there is no x in this equation, because x values don't affect the line at all. So this graph right here is y equals 6, or y is always equal to 6 regardless of x. So if x is equal to 2, y would be 6. If x is equal to 4, y would be 6. And it's just a perfectly horizontal line. And the equation for a horizontal line is, as I said before, y equals b, where b is any number. Vertical lines are similar to horizontal lines. However, this time it's the opposite. The x value always stays the same regardless of the y value. Vertical lines have an equation of x equals b, where b is any number. The equation of this graph is x equals 1, as the y values don't change the values of x. And the y values go on to positive infinity and negative infinity. So this graph will just keep on going forever. And the same thing happens for horizontal lines. The graph will go from left to right forever. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video.